Bioluminescence, Its Origins and Societal Applications. Caroline Lee and Stephanie Garibay, San Diego Mesa College. Bioluminescent organisms live throughout the water column, from the surface to the seafloor, from near the coast to the open ocean. In the deep sea, bioluminescence is extremely common, and because the deep sea is so vast, bioluminescence may be the most common form of communication on the planet. Scientifically, bioluminescence is a type of chemiluminescence produced and emitted by organisms through chemical receptors in their bodies. Simply put, it is the chemical reaction in an animal that emits light within its body. There are a wide array of creatures that fall within the bioluminescence category and vary in many shapes and sizes. From infamous predators like the anglerfish, to members of phylum Mollusca like the firefly squid, and the glowing sucker octopus, to gelatinous planktonic animals like comb jellies, all the way down to microscopic organisms like dinoflagellates that cause red tides, and planktonic polychaetes like the Tomopterus worm. It is the capability to create these visually pleasing physical effects that make these mysterious marine animals special in nature, and we will explain why bioluminescence is even crucial to many applications in society. Bioluminescence versus fluorescence.
Bioluminescence is often mistaken for fluorescence, which is a different process. Bioluminescence is different from fluorescence. There are a few misconceptions when it comes to identifying these two processes, as they are similar to each other. Fluorescence is a process in which matter in an organism's body absorbs light and re-emits it at a different wavelength. Can you guess which organism is bioluminescent and which one is fluorescent? That's right. If you guessed that fireflies are bioluminescent organisms, you are correct. Because fluorescent organisms, such as butterflies, have fluorescent markings on their wings, they would not glow in complete darkness because there is no light to reflect. Therefore, it cannot be illuminated. Fluorescent pigments can only glow in the presence of an external light source. So, how do bioluminescence work? Well, it's a chemical light producing reaction between luciferin and oxygen. When luciferin reacts with oxygen, it produces light. Often, this process requires the presence of other substances like oxygen ATP, which is a molecule that stores and transports energy within cells. For a reaction to occur, a species must contain luciferin, a molecule that, when it reacts with oxygen, produces light. Luciferase is an enzyme, a protein that acts as a catalyst to speed up a reaction. Several types of luciferin, each with different structure, have evolved in the animal kingdom. Each luciferin has its own luciferase, which creates a different color of light. The two structures on this slide are the luciferin found in dinoflagellates and fireflies. Notice how these two structures are different. The dinoflagellate luciferin has 5 rings compared to the 3-ring firefly luciferin. In the next slide, we will observe the chemical reaction with visuals to help better understand how luciferin and luciferase work. Here we see how the system works. The luciferase allows oxygen to combine with the luciferin, which produces photons of light that are emitted, and the oxidized luciferin becomes inactive. Animals can closely control when they light up by regulating their chemistry and brain processes, depending on their immediate needs, whether it is to attract a meal or a mate. Some organisms even bundle the luciferin with oxygen in what it is called a photoprotein, like a prepackaged bioluminescent bomb that is ready to light up the moment a certain ion, typically calcium, becomes present. They can even choose the intensity and color of lights. So the question is, who makes it? Bioluminescence developed in many groups of marine organisms, from bacteria and algae to fish and sharks. We know that most deep sea organisms, such as the anglerfish and squids, produce some bioluminescent light, but the phenomenon is not related to the deep. Bioluminescent dinoflagellates are commonly seen at the surface of the ocean. When conditions are right, dinoflagellates bloom in dense layers, causing the surface to take on a reddish-brown color in daylight. However, at night, they illuminate a sparkly sheen as they move in the waves. As seen in the bottom picture of a red tide at Sunset Cliffs, San Diego, California. Bioluminescent organisms can be found on land as well, such as fireflies, snails, worms, and even in some types of mushrooms.
Bioluminescent adaptations in marine organisms.
Bioluminescence allows living things to defend against predators, hunt prey, find mates, and execute all other vital activities. As a defensive adaptation, animals often use a strong flash of bioluminescence to scare off an impending predator. The bright signal can startle and distract the predator. For example, the vampire squid ejects sticky bioluminescent mucus, which can confuse its predators, allowing the squid to escape. Many marine species use a technique called counter-illumination to hide from predators from below by blending in with the light patterns above. Hatchetfish, shown in the bottom right corner, have light-producing organs called photophores that point downward. They adjust the amount of light emitted from the undersides to match the light level coming from above. By adjusting the bioluminescence, they disguise their shadow and become virtually invisible to predators looking upwards. Bioluminescence may be used to lure or search for prey. The anglerfish has a long, thin, fleshy growth called a filament on top of its head. On the end of the filament is a ball called the esca, filled with glowing bacteria. When the anglerfish lies in wait, smaller fish, curious about the spot of light, swim in for a closer look. By the time the prey sees the enormous dark jaws of the anglerfish behind the bright esca, it may be too late. In contrast, the dragonfish uses bioluminescence to actively search for prey. They have evolved to emit red light. Most deep-sea fish can only see blue light, so these predators have an enormous advantage when they light up a surrounding area. They can see their prey, but their prey can't see them.
Other bioluminescence.
Bioluminescence can be used for attracting mates, such as by adult fireflies, also called lightning bugs. The North American firefly species, the male's flashing pattern identifies itself to nearby females to show that they are interested in mating. Other bioluminescence includes milky seas. Unlike bioluminescent algae, which flash when their environment is disturbed, milky seas are produced by bacteria, and the ocean water continuously glows, sometimes bright and large enough to be visible from satellites.
Applications to our society. Bioluminescence imaging, or BLI, has grown immensely over the past decade and has contributed significantly to fundamental advancements in the biomedical research fields such as oncology, virology, immunology, and neuroscience. It is critical in the means of processing different biological processes in the body, like enabling the monitoring of genes, protein reactions, and cell development in laboratory settings, and has also allowed the opportunity for research of biological processes in vivo. On the right is an example of bioluminescence imaging. In this experiment, scientists injected two lab mice with different types of cancer cells, one with breast cancer cells and the other with melanoma cancer cells. In the end, it was meant to show the different effects different types of cancer cells can have on different organs within the body. Another application of bioluminescence is its historical significance in warfare. It has been observed that military ships and submarines traveling through bioluminescent waters become conspicuous and an easy target for the opposing side. In particular, towards the end of World War I, a British ship off the coast of Spain aimed and fired at a glowing shape and ended up destroying a German submarine that revealed its position because it swam into a bioluminescent planktonic field. Bioluminescence is a critical biological process in nature which helps organisms capture food, reproduce, and protect themselves, allowing them to survive in their world. Furthermore, bioluminescence continues to contribute to advancements in research in biomedical and other fields. So next time you go out and get the chance to see an animal glow, remember that it's much more than just pretty lights.